Welcome back to our daily show. The time's around 10:30 on this Thursday morning, and you know it's always great to have performing artists on the show like Billboard-charting art folk pop singer, songwriter, and the multi-instruments herself, Rachael Sage, who's going to be performing. Listen to this: Riviera St. Louis, July the 8th, a part of the Under My Canopy tour. And Rachael, thanks so much for stopping by the show.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for spreading the word about independent music.
Well, and now take me through this. You just had a new release. This is a really exciting time for you, and it looks like you're not hitting the pause button anytime soon.
Thanks for reminding me. I'm actually releasing a single a month every 4 weeks.
Wow.
And my album comes out in October. And this is sort of a new approach for me, but it's been very exciting so far because each song is really having its moment. And I get to tell that story, about the song and the process. So yes, Canopy is out now. And then in time for our show, I'll have my second single, Just Enough.
Well, and now take me through Canopy a little bit and give me a little bit of the insights that led to the creation of it.
Absolutely. So Canopy is really my anthem du jour
I
about
love it.
inclusivity and everybody having a voice, trying to remain open and accepting and inclusive, really. So I think it's a perfect song for June specifically, and just all year round,
Yeah.
trying to do whatever we can day to day in our individual lives, communities, families, and the wider world to counterbalance some of this just horrible divisiveness and this tendency we have to cancel each other if we disagree. I'm just not about that at all. So
It's such a
safe space right here.
It's such a really important point too, and especially with music. I mean, nothing has been better at bringing people together than music, and to really have this being that anthem that kicks off the single releases leading up to October. What better way to kind of put your foot forward, and it really is such a great message, especially around this time when heck you turn on any of the foreign big news stations and you're ready to turn them off in 20 seconds.
Yes, I've never been more grateful for music, for live music specifically,
hmm
and to the folks who are willing to, you said, you mentioned the word pause. They're willing to pause their Netflix to come out, during the week and see something that they can't see anywhere else. It will never happen again. We're making something together, the audience and live musicians. And as you know, I'll also be performing with the fabulous Kristen Ford. So I'm really excited to share the stage with her. She's phenomenal.
Well, and right on too. And honestly, Kristen, or Rachel, sorry, yeah, Kristen on my brain now.
Okay, fair
But
one.
Rachel, I think it's so cool that to be out there, especially at the Riviera in St. Louis. It's such a nice venue, and take me through just kind of the creation of this tour. I mean, it is a pretty comprehensive one, and what led up to this?
Had this new music in the wings, and so I knew I was going to tour. I tour a lot overseas, specifically in the UK. So I was just getting ready to roll up my sleeves and plan some shows. And this incredibly talented young woman named Kristen Ford reached out to me, and she is a very collaborative person. She wanted to do some shows together, and I said, why just do a few shows? Why not do a whole tour together? Because I, of course, had listened to her music. She's a fantastic songwriter. We're both heavily influenced by a lot of the same artists, and we had both shared this history of touring with Ani DeFranco as our big break when we first started.
Oh
So
wow, really cool.
it's an unusual coincidence. I toured with Ani many, many years ago. Kristen did recently, and Ani DeFranco has actually produced her new album.
Wow.
So we share a sensibility, and I just think it's going to be a great contrasting bill because I'm, on the piano and acoustic guitar, and she's rocking out with her guitar looper, and just a very powerful, energetic artist.
Well, and I wanted to ask you before we came on. You hit on something about being an independent artist, correct? And take me through just for the folks that maybe don't understand, the ins and outs and how your day to day looks a little bit different than those that are non-independent artists. I mean, you're rolling up the sleeves in every way, shape, or form to get the message out and also produce your craft.
Yes, sir. I am not an early riser because I stay up till about 4 or 5 in the morning often.
Oh, wow.
This morning, that alarm was set. I'll just run you through a few of the things I did because it might be interesting for
Yeah.
your readers. I was reviewing my mastering of my new album, which I'm still working on. I was planning a schedule for a video I'm making next week, finalizing some details for some of these tour dates, writing a PR to spread the word. So there's a never-ending list of things that you were doing to support this on-stage bliss that we get to do of just playing music. It's not just performing, but finding that balance and managing to stay centered, is a challenge, but I love it. I love it all so much.
Well, and it's got to feel really good then when you really do get that moment to hit the stage, and because it's whenever you're doing all of that work, and your focus is on a lot more than just getting to the next town and doing all of these really important things that make Rachel who you are. What's it like to have those a couple of hours on stage where you can kind of hit pause just like the audience too and just enjoy the moment?
You said it so perfectly. Maybe you're a musician. But it really is that, that being present. It's as close to Zen as I think I ever get, because I'm a very busy, active person. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm also a cancer thriver. So I'm celebrating 6 years in remission
Congratulations.
cancer, and thank you. And so
Seriously.
for me, it's
Wow.
this absolute freedom to get up on stage, share this connection with the community in the moment, and just celebrate life and joy and our collective humanity.
This
So
is
no pressure.
no. Well, and take me through. For somebody that maybe is coming, that's really interested in this Riviera show in St. Louis, or that's always been interested to check you out, live on stage. What's that experience like? Can you take us through a little bit of what the atmosphere of your shows are like?
Definitely. Well, I tour with a rotating group of musicians. I believe that I will have my violinist with me in
Ooh.
St. Louis, and she is phenomenal. She plays violin like it's a, 20-piece orchestra. She puts it through a wah pedal. She's rocking it out like Lenny Kravitz. Like
No
it's really
way. That's
fun.
awesome.
I know. And like I mentioned, Kristen will be on the bill too. So, inevitably we'll do some kind of collaboration. We haven't worked that out yet, but we're very adventurous musically, so I'm sure we will. And I'll be performing songs from the forthcoming album Canopy, but also a whole bunch of tunes from my relatively vast repertoire at this point. This will be my 17th album. So
Wow.
I do take listener requests, but I'll probably be doing some songs that were featured in the TV show Dance Moms, among others. And, just changing it up every night. So no matter what, you're going to get your own unique show with some storytelling and maybe a little bit of dance and percussion playing. And of course, I play piano and guitar.
Hmm. Well, and take me through album 1 to album 17. How is when you say that, it just there's so many more thoughts that come to my mind, and that's the evolution of you. Take me through the evolution, if you could, in a nutshell. I know it's going to be a hard kind of thing to do, from album one
I
to
can think quickly.
really album 1 to well, no, I knew that, but I mean, because I know that's got to be a story. Album 1 to album 17. The evolution of Rachel. How has your writing style changed over the couple of years?
I think it's changed a lot. When I first started, like most young people, I had so much to say and so much inside, and I just wanted to get it out. It was very cathartic, and it was a lot of me, as we're apt to do in our teens and 20s. And that's okay. We're figuring out who we are, what we believe, what we feel, all the things. And then as the career has evolved and I've been out in the world longer and traveled and met so many incredible people and just intermingled with the music scene itself, I think I've absorbed a lot of other people's stories and perspectives as well. And so there's a certain aspect of my writing that's become more observational and also hopefully even more empathetic and able to kind of connect the dots on what our common experiences are that we go through even as individuals. So there's a through line now in a lot of my writing that is not necessarily about my personal life, but it's about how we can do better, without being preachy, just
Yeah.
reflecting on it. Really, what can we do to make this world a better place? I really always am trying to explore that in my writing.
I really like that, and I like the notion that the not being too preachy too. And I think that that's such a welcome thing because we were just having that conversation,
Yeah.
of just being more welcoming. And I think that that's such a really important message, Rachel, truly, and something that I find so fascinating. And from the Billboard charts to show songs being featured on shows and Dance Moms, I'm telling you what, I know I don't look like it. I was rocking with Abby for a long time. That those rotten apples, man. I'm telling you what, it's just terrible. But I think it's important to note the success that you've had as an independent artist, and really the message and really inspiration that other independent artists can get out of that too. What's your thought and message to, because we have so many in the St. Louis scene that are independents, to keep pushing forward?
Oh, you have a great independent music scene. I know a lot of musicians who blow through your town and some who live there now, and they really relish it. So, I mean, I think the best advice that I ever got was when I was playing at Lilith Fair and I was on a panel with Suzanne Vega and Sheryl Crow, these
Oh
incredible
wow.
women to whom I really looked up. And Suzanne said something very important, which was just, you're going to get a lot of advice from a lot of people, your lawyer, your mother, even your best friend. They're people who you do trust. You're going to get a lot of advice from people you don't trust. Make music that you love, that pleases you, that, I call it like my no apology recordings. There's nothing about it I'm qualifying. I'm saying, oh, well, when I get a chance, I'm going to add more salt and pepper. I'm going to lower the vocals. I'm going to do this or that. If you make it so that you love it and you believe in it so much, the rest will fall into place. Because by nature, if you love it, you're a human being with wants and needs and expression and values and empathy and all these. You're a universe. So other people are going to gravitate toward it. If you love it, you feel confident in it, and you believe in it.
Really cool. And that's really, Rachel, such a great message, too. And I know that one that so many are going to connect with. And as we're getting back to the Under My Canopy tour, and as you're hitting St. Louis here in a couple of weeks, how can we get tickets? And what's the best way to stay up to date on the tour and everything that you're working on?
Sure. Well, I think the easiest way is to go to my website, rachelsage.com. And of course, I have a shows section, and all the shows are listed there. You can just click right on the date and get your tickets. And I know Kristen Ford has the same scenario at kristenford.com. We're also spreading the word, of course, on our Instagram and Facebook pages. So we try to keep it super accessible.
Really cool.
Please
And
say hello, drop a line.
I love it. And hey, before I let you go, a couple of fun ones. Did you ever have a song or a piece that you were working on that you were like, man, this is it. This is, my stairway to heaven. And then you listen to it and then you're like, man, okay, I don't know what I was thinking earlier.
Of course,
I
all the
love this.
time.
Okay, this is awesome.
But that's okay because, you can't be too precious about making art. I
Yeah.
think that applies to painting, to songwriting, even to getting into a dance studio, shaking it out. That's what rehearsal's for, you know. And if you put it out into the world and years later it makes you cringe, you did something brave
Yeah.
and you put yourself out there, and that's a lot to be proud of just unto itself. So, I was definitely raised in a family of like folks who believe if you don't enter, you can't win, and it's okay. You can do better next time.
100%. I'm telling you what, this is just amazing, Rachel, and I really love the message too of just this whole conversation. And I got to ask you too, after all the years doing this, is there one show that sticks out to you that you kind of always will fall back on and go, you know what, if it all ended tomorrow, I had this one.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful question. I love that so much. Yes, there is a show that stands out. I toured with the incredible blues rock artist Beth Hart a few
Oh
years
wow,
ago.
yeah, that'd be awesome.
Her music, but she's phenomenal. She sings like Janis Joplin. She's a fantastic songwriter. And we played the town hall in New York City, and it was a reschedule. We had to cancel the first time for weather or whatnot. And I flew all the way from England that morning because I was on tour there, but I had a day off in England and I got on a plane flew to New York for the rescheduled show at Town Hall, which was a dream come true for me to play Town Hall. And then I got back on a plane and went back to resume my tour. So I'm telling you, in it for the love.
So you don't only make music, you bend time too. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much for adding me in, in the morning, because I know that, like you said, you're always getting stuff done. And then, what's your final message to your fans as you approach the St. Louis date before we say so long for now?
Oh, I can't wait to meet y'all. Come down. We're gonna have a great time. You got two great artists, if I dare say so myself, who really believe in what we do. But we can't do it without you. So you are the, remaining member in the band. Come sing along. We got plenty of moments in the set where you can clap and dance, and it's going to be a big party. We can't wait to see you.
Rachel, thank you so much for stopping by. The Under My Canopy tour is hitting St. Louis in just a few short weeks. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com, including ticket links and ways that you can be a part of it. Rachel, can't wait to talk with you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take a quick break. Our daily I'm out of time. That's my music. I gotta go. I will see you back here live on the 30th of June. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.